Hello, I'm Holly Fuller. Welcome to the Partners in Prevention Show. January is National Mentoring Month, and so today our guests are Lydell McAllister, the Director of the Mentoring Program for Partners in Prevention, and Judy Downing, a longtime mentor for Partners in Prevention. So welcome to you both. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's go ahead and just get started talking a little bit about what the Mentoring Month is nationally and what we're doing locally. And Lydell, I'll let you talk about that.
Well, we're excited to be able to support National Mentoring Month, which highlights mentoring across the United States and the great need for mentors to support young people by meeting with them weekly at the schools. And in our program at Partners in Prevention, our mentoring program, we have the girls program called Forever Friends, where mentors meet weekly at the school, and they're in a group setting. Each mentor has their own girl that they mentor, but they're also meeting with other women and girls, and there's a facilitator who helps facilitate the discussion and the activities, things around decision making and resisting peer influence and those kinds of issues that are really important for young people. We also have one-to-one mentoring through our co-pilots for boys, where the mentor meets on the campus each week with the boy that they are matched with, and then and they do activities and fun things together. It's all about building friendships, adult friendships with young people, and providing that trusting, caring relationship. There is a program for girls younger than 5th grade called Forever Friends 2, and they meet one-to-one on the campuses very much like the boys do in co-pilots. It's a simple commitment in terms of meeting once a week at the school, but mentors really provide that special friendship that kids so much need and want in their lives.
And how are children selected to be in the mentoring program?
Well, that's a great question. Children are selected in a variety of ways. Usually school counselors identify students based on different behavior, kids that don't make friends easily, kids that are sort of withdrawn. They might be referred by their parents. We also have a grant to serve children who have a parent in prison. Just knowing that those kids are sort of silent victims in our community, and often their parents will refer them to the program or school counselors, but they are not singled out in any way except that they have a higher priority for receiving a mentor. So our program is about half children that have a parent in prison and about half just students who may need a special support group at school. It's a way to feel more connected there. So they're chosen in a variety of ways. People can call or school counselors refer.
And what school districts or what areas is the mentoring program available?
The mentoring program serves 6 counties in East Texas, and they are Gregg, Harrison, Marion, Panola, Rusk, and Upshur. We started in Longview and Pine Tree school districts and added Spring Hill over time. We're working on developing mentoring in White Oak as well, but we have a strong program in Hallsville and Kilgore and all of the surrounding areas where we're looking at recruiting mentors. What we know is while we have about 150 mentors currently mentoring in the program, we know that the need across East Texas is great because children need that non-parent adult support like Judy is, and in addition to parents. Many times kids get that through church and neighbors, but there are many, many kids in our community that have no way to really have mentors in their lives in an intentional kind of way. So mentoring is about building those intentional friendships with children.
Okay, and you said the program began in Longview and Pine Tree. When was that? When did that
Back in 1996. So the program's been going about 15 years, and but the need for mentors, if you ask any principal or school staff member, you'll find that they see having trusted adults in the lives of kids is one of the most important things. So the need is great for people to be involved with children.
Okay. And Judy, you are a mentor in the Pine Tree School District, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in mentoring.
Well, I'm actually employed by the Pine Tree School District, and when I first went to Pine Tree back in 2003, The assistant superintendent at that time, Paula Rogers, was very active in Partners in Prevention and Forever Friends. So I visited some weeks with her in one of the weekly meetings and said, this is what I need to do.
And so you've been a mentor since that time?
Yes,
7 years now?
Yes, 7 years. The girls that I started with in their 5th grade year are now seniors. So
How exciting.
Yes.
Well, tell us just a little bit about what you have seen as a benefit to you personally and what growth you've seen in the girls over the 7 years.
Well, it's really interesting what it does for you. I think the mentor probably gets just as much as the mentee does out of the program, if not more. You feel a sense of that you're needed,
Yes.
and that you can really help someone if it's just being there for that weekly meeting. And it gives your heart a good feeling when you go and you listen. You're able to listen to these young ladies because their life is not a rose on a daily basis at all. And a lot of them wake up to caring for their own siblings or having to get themselves to school at such young age. How am I going to get there today? And to know that you can go there and put a smile on their face or help them through a decision-making process just really makes you feel warm inside. And so I've been very fortunate, I think, in my life to be a part of this program because, you know, if I can relate something there is I myself during these 7 years have been diagnosed with MS. Well, it takes your mind off your own problems.
Yes.
You go and you see these kids and you want to help them and you want to help them make decisions, and it relieves you. Your problem's not so big anymore.
Volunteering is good for our health, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It really is. And you know, I myself am a mentor, and I have experienced some of the same things that you're speaking of as well. And it just it does bring a bright spot to your life.
It does.
To have and be involved in a young girl's life, and just supporting and encouraging along the way, and just giving those words of acclamation that you know. Everyone needs,
right.
You know, and especially when you're in your teenage years, I think that's
Yes.
especially important.
I also think that it keeps us in touch with all of the influences in our society around that are with young people, and it also keeps us younger because we are, and you know, there's a lot of humor and fun in working with young people. They kind of bring that back to us. We forget that some as we get older, and that youthfulness and fun that they bring, even when they have big burdens that they're carrying.
Yes. I mean, it opens your eyes to a lot of problems that maybe you have put aside in the past or you don't want to confront because it is society's problems. And these young ladies are having to deal with adult situations in a lot of cases. But as you learn from them so that when I go and I talk about being a mentor and a forever friends, I can educate other adults in what is actually real life out there for these young ladies.
That's right. Yes. And Lydell, you mentioned that it keeps us young, and you're so right about that. Judy and I were laughing. Cell phone is how we most often communicate with our Teen Forever friends. Through text messaging, you have to get quick on the...
Most of the time, the way that I keep in touch and the way my mentee keeps in touch with me is by texting me. And I think they feel that's their way now. Technology is their way of communicating. And I think she feels really comfortable in asking me questions through here, and she knows I will answer her back, you know, everywhere from what I do for being sick or to, hey, I've got this problem, or I want to tell you a funny joke, you know. They reach out to you on this
relationship building through technology.
Right here. And you learn that really quick in the Forever Friends program.
I think it's a good
because
example,
that's their friend.
That's right.
Everything is connected to their cell phones.
And that you're willing as a mentor to recognize that is an important way that young people reach out nowadays, and that you've done that, I think is you know,
you spend more time with them over texting sometimes than you do going to a movie or an activity or going out to have a dinner or something.
They can help us stay up on the technology.
Yes, they sure can.
Yeah.
Well, what benefits do you think have come to your, I know you've had different mentees over the years.
I've had two.
But you said that you started with the same group, 5th grade, so you've been around the same girls,
same
even though
group
maybe not mentoring.
Of young ladies, and you know, I think we've done really well with that group. I think the majority of them have stayed with the program. The first young lady that I mentored, of course, she was one that had parents of the prison program, and she was very angry at first, and we finally got her to smile, and she got involved heavily in sports, and she's kind of graduated off from the Forever Friends program because she's made friends in sports, and she's got an interest, and her family has come back to her. So we look at her as a success story. And the young lady that I'm mentoring now has been in the 5th grade with us in that same group, and you know, she's happy that she wants to graduate, and we're finding ways to help her in school, and she's doing really good with her grades right now, and she's got a job, and she realizes that she has responsibility. And you know, some of the other young ladies, they have problems where their parents really aren't at home for them, and it would have been very easy for them to quit. And school, quit all around, you know, and just give up on themselves. But I think having that once a week meeting where everybody comes together and they hear the other mentees' problems, they hear that they're not the only one out there who's having to deal with this, and they find solutions amongst each other.
Yes.
And it's just great when you see that happen.
There's a real bonding that takes
place.
place.
Yes, it really is. It really is.
In the group.
And you don't have to, as a mentor, just be there every minute. All you need to let those young ladies know is, hey, pick up the phone, text me, you know, reach out to me, and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
You know, it's worth the 30 minutes a week or an hour a week that you give to be in these meetings. It really is.
It is.
It's more benefit than you'd ever lose in 30 minutes or an hour of time.
And most of those meetings, and probably the one that you're involved in as well, is just over a lunchtime period. So
we have
it's
lunch
fairly
together, and
to
you know, we bring
make
in
that
lunch for
commitment.
the young ladies, and we get in there, and as Lydell said, there's a facilitator, and she's got a plan, hopefully, that we can stick with, but it's okay if we get off of it, because if it gets them talking about something that's going on, or how they perceive life or rules, or, you know, what's happening in school that day, we're just glad that they will open up and talk to us.
Absolutely.
We've been really fortunate, too, to have partners like Chick-fil-A that have helped provide those lunches.
Yes, that's correct.
For our time, so that the girls don't have to go to the cafeteria. It's such a short lunch period anyway, and having that food where they come straight to the room and have that 30 minutes there has really been a great benefit for the program.
Right, because unfortunately at the high school level, they are such on a schedule of classes that we have to fit this meeting in, you know, there. So it is very fortunate that we have a vendor like Chick-fil-A that supports the program.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I just want to extend a personal thank you for your time and commitment that you've given as a mentor to our community over the last several years, and it sounds like you were just as excited as you were probably the first day.
You know, like I said, you can have a bad week, but when my days are on Thursday, when I show up there on Thursday, I always walk out with a smile on my face.
Yes.
There's no problem that you could create that's as great as a child struggling through some of the things that these young ladies struggle through, and to be able just to give a little bit of knowledge or just to listen, it does your heart good.
And see them overcome those struggles.
Yes, that,
and go on
you know,
to succeed.
to see them smile, and you know, right now that some of the other ladies I see from time to time that were in our little group, because they're kind of spread out now, they'll see me in the store. That, you know, some that have gone on to different things, I'll hear Judy, Miss Judy, and there they are. So, you know, they remember you.
Absolutely.
You've touched their life.
Absolutely.
So
well,
it's worth
thank you.
it.
Thank you again.
You've been a great mentor for us, and we
you.
really appreciate that, and really have done a good job in helping kids cope. I'll just add real quickly about the grocery. I was in the grocery store the other night, and one of the girls that was checking us out was one of the girls from our Pine Tree group, and you know, she's going to school and getting married, and it's just very exciting to see them. To share those successes too, because they know we're interested in their successes. Mentoring is really all about helping kids cope. You've done a great job. We just really appreciate your ongoing willingness to mentor multiple students really over the time.
Yes.
So if someone wanted to become a mentor, let's talk about that for a minute. It sounds like it's a fairly easy process, but Lydell, step us through that.
The way you become a mentor is to just notify us, call us at our telephone number. We now do an interview ahead of time to help you kind of think through what the expectations of mentoring are, and your own life experiences, and to learn a little more about it. And then we have a 2-hour training that people attend. We provide lunch. It's usually 11:30 to 1:30 at our offices at Partners in Prevention in downtown Longview. And then we go through a screening process with the school districts, provide criminal history background checks on every mentor. We also do a child abuse registry check, and we do references checks, just to give peace of mind to both the community, the school, and the parents that the volunteers are going to be safe people. Really, the main qualification is a caring, supportive heart, an enjoyment of young people. You have to like young people and sort of be willing to let them teach you technology and stuff like that to be a good mentor. But beyond that, and then the commitment of willingness to come once a week, because we know that kids can get disappointed if mentors are not consistent and can fall away, and it can be kind of a negative for them instead of a positive. So that commitment of as much as folks can do once a week is what we know through the research really makes a difference in the lives of young people. So we ask for that once a week commitment. Even during the summer, mentors keep contact. We have activities that we offer that mentors and mentees can come to, beading and the Mud Hut, and we've taken kids to baseball games and soccer games. So
ballet,
yes, that's a great one. And so the Longview Ballet Theater has also been a great partner for us and provided free tickets, which everyone has enjoyed. So being a mentor is a commitment, but it's just a once a week commitment. And as Judy said, you know, you can spend that 30, 45 minutes in a lot of different ways. It's a meaningful way to spend that time each week.
And Judy, I know you've volunteered for 7 years, but really the initial commitment is just asking for a 1-year commitment. Is that correct? And then you've just chosen to continue
choice
on
from year to year, you know, because we too, you know, adults have things that come up in their life that may have to, you know, take you away from this program, but it's always there for you to come back to.
Yes.
You can, and you know, there's always a way you can give yourself a break if you need to, but that program's going to be there. And I'd have to say, Linda, that most employers support the people that volunteer in the group and do not have problems with them taking a longer lunch hour or you know, time off from work to support this program.
I think the school districts have also been heavily supportive in terms of giving the space and the time for mentors and mentees to meet, and we so appreciate those partnerships with the school districts themselves, because while they benefit, it also is some work on their end as well, and we just appreciate that support and encouragement that the many ways schools support children.
Yes.
Well, thank you both for being with us today and just sharing your personal experience, Judy.
I'm glad to be here.
Sharing some information about the program. Lydell, appreciate you as well. And thank you for joining us. And I would like to encourage you to consider becoming a mentor to a young child. If you are interested or would like more information, please call Partners in Prevention at 903-237-1019. You can also visit us at our website, which is pip.longviewtexas.gov. We have averaging at least once a month of mentor training that's available to you, and we would love for you to consider signing up. Thank you for joining us, and if you've had a mentor in your life, I would ask you to take this opportunity during this month of National Mentoring Month to just give them a thank you. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.
I love Longview.
We love Longview!
I love Longview.
We love Longview.
Show how much you love Longview. Together, we can keep Longview beautiful.